Good morning. Okay, I'm going to do my sharing out on sharing is caring, guys. On TikTok, I'm going to do some sharing. Hi, good morning. Today is Tarot and Tea Tuesday. My tea is very hot. I just got it fresh one made. So it's nice and hot, and I have my travel mug as a backup so we don't run out. And the task today is to try to remember to drink the tea when it's still hot, not wait until it gets cold. Because then I get sad face. Nobody likes sad face. Good morning, Craig. How are you? Good morning, Nisi. Jess. I was like, I think I remembered who was here next. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Say hi, like the live. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. That's how it goes. I think I got everybody. If I missed somebody, oopsie. TT. This one seems a bit low. So we can raise that up a little bit. Sure. You might get the TT up at the top then. So I have this thing to chat about. It's funny. I don't know if you're like me, and I feel like I need to wait a little bit before we have this conversation. I feel like happy sunrise. There's a couple of things that I wanted to do today before we get started with the tarot, because it's tarot and tea. So tea means that we're going to do some talking. Millie, much love to you, my friend. Thank you so much for coming and stopping by. Hi, heart to heart, Sherry. Moshadi. Moshadi. I'm full of love today. I don't know, for the last few days, I've been feeling the energy much different. I've been feeling the energy differently in a beautiful way. This is the third blue sky. This is the third blue sky. What is this voodoo stuff that's going on in my world that I've had 3 days with blue skies? And not only blue skies, but blue skies that are free of, the stuff that makes it go cloudy, what they put up there. That stuff. We won't say it because we're on, these feeds and we could easily get censored, and so we just won't say that kind of stuff. But there's none of that out there right now. It's sunny, it's bright, it's beautiful, and I know a lot of people here are part of it. Ooh, yeah, see, nice. They finally decided to give us a break. Maybe so. I decided that we should start the day with some love, for sure. With some love. If you're not from Truth Wave, and I'm pretty sure that everybody that's on YouTube right now is either from Truth Wave or knows of Truth Wave because they're from me and I've already sent them that way. So there's this back and forth that we have, because I think with the where we're headed, there's really this community, right? It's not so much about competitiveness or, I have to keep everything for me. And there's this very sharing nature that is around now that exists within the communities. And it's this really collective atmosphere of, I'm helping you and you're helping me and we are helping the collective. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing that we've moved into. So we've got a few people here now, not a whole bunch, but we've got a few people now. And I just have to say, I'm one of those people. I have this weird thing where I just think I can do things. I mean, it's gotten me in trouble a few times because I don't know, when I was a kid, I had watched enough acrobats at that time. Circuses were big back then. So I watched a lot of them and I believed that I could do tricks that I could not do. And it led to some concussions as a child. Let's just say I made my mom's life fun. Ultimately, I was a good kid, but I was also I was also fun and entertaining because life for me has been an adventure. So I had this thing of where I just think I can do things, and sometimes I surprise even myself. So I saw this girl. She made this this hat thing that it covered up the nose part of it, so it was like a what do they call it? A baklava? Is that what they call those things where you just got the little peephole? Oh man, why is the name not coming to me? I don't know. Maybe because I'm not meant to be in the cold weather for much longer. So I decided I can do that, and I did do it. I did it. I did it, guys. I made this beautiful. I knitted this yesterday. And I wore it this morning when I went out on my walk. And I impressed my mom so much, she thinks I should make them and sell them. And I could get a whole bunch made before next winter. And I'm just laughing because I didn't follow a pattern. I didn't do anything. I saw what that lady did and I said, I can do that. And then I surprised myself and I in fact did do that. And I just, it makes me so happy. I'm making some modifications because after I did it the first time, I put it together really quick. So it had like a point on both sides. Like I just zipped it up like a pillowcase. And then I'm like, no, I can do that better. So I'm rounding it now so that it's going to have a nice and rounded top on it. And I don't know, I might actually have to make a few of these and sell them for next winter. So do you do that? Do you just think in your mind, I can do that? Do you just randomly pick something up and go, yeah, I can do that. yeah, I can do this flip on this bar, and you know, I can do a flip off this bar. Sure, I can do that. And then, I mean, some things you find out no. Okay, it's in the middle. Here, I'll pull this out because it's not completely, I have fixed it. Okay, wait, I gotta take my glasses off. Hang on. So I'm fixing the top right now. Right? And so the cool thing is if you don't want the face thing up, then you can have a really long neck, and then you're just like this. So once I finish doing the head stuff, then it's like that. Like, I didn't follow a pattern. I didn't measure nothing. I just grabbed the thread and I grabbed this thing and I said, I can do that. And then I crocheted it. And I love it. I love it. So I have another mixture of yarn that's like pink and like oranges. Like so I'm gonna crochet the next one, right? It's so cool, right? The colors, and I have this really cool shiny stuff. I'm gonna make some funky like stuff with it. I'm gonna bedazzle this. I'll go around the edging with some sparkles, maybe make some swirly little loopies. Like, who knew? Who knew, guys? Who knew what I could do? I think every Canadian should know how to sew and knit and crochet. You never know when you just want to make a blanket or a scarf or a toque. And it was really cold this morning, and I didn't know, because I don't look at the weather. I decided I'm just going to experience weather how I want to experience weather. So I didn't think anything. I just said to myself, it's winter, and I went outside with my thing on. And I'm walking around, and I had it all the way up here, and because of the way that I had it sewed before, it was, like I said, I just zipped it closed like a pillowcase, and then I came home and thought, that's not right. It needs to be rounded. So I've been fixing it. But when I was out there, the only part of me that was cold was the little bit where it was pulled up too high because of the point, right? So the point had it pulled up higher on my head. And I come home and I'm like, I had to get it off right away. I was sweating. I was like, holy moly. And like as soon as I came in the apartment, I was like, whoosh. But then, you know, like if you're like me and you got ADHD, or you know, it's the spectrum. It's my spectrum. My spectrum is I don't like to be all bundled up. I don't like it. There's too much. There's too many layers. There's too much constriction. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I really, really don't like it after you've been in the cold and you come back in the warm, because then it's a mad dash to see how fast I can get the layers off. And then you don't even know what layer you got to go down to. Sometimes you got to go right down to the skivvies because you're just so hot and uncomfortable and prickly and itchy from the transition between the outside and the inside. It's not cool. So anyway, I had to get that off right away. So poof, off my head as soon as I came in the apartment. And then I looked at the temperature and it was minus 21 with the wind chill. And I was like, what? I didn't experience that. Hi, Siobhan. My niece has a name spelled, her name's Siobhan and spelled exactly like that. So anyway, that is my tea talk about my fun morning. And yesterday, where I just decided I could do that, and I in fact did it. And now I'm all like So let me be an inspiration, just an inspiration to you. If you have a thing and a thought in your head and you say, I think I can do that, try it. You might surprise the heck out of yourself and do it. And then you'll be super proud of yourself or impressed with yourself because you did something without having any previous training in how to do it, and you did it. Hi Jenny, how's Betty? How's Betty doing? Give her some scritches. We'll do some cards, of course. It's Tarot Tuesday, so we've got to check in on things. We'll see what is going on with the energy at this time. And she's snorking away. Cute. And how are you, my love? How are you? I'm trying to think of the weird things that I've been seeing on the internet lately, on the net of Inter. But I don't even want to talk about any of the yuck stuff that's going on out there, because I don't want to spread that. I just want to spread love and unity and, you know, peace and joy. I think I came from a meditation that put me in a good space. I think so. You should try it. I don't know if I plugged it enough yet, this truth wave meditation. I don't know. Ooh, look at guys. We are bearing fruit. I like the energy of bearing fruit. That means that all that hard work is finally paying off. And we're going to start to see those manifestations that we've been waking the lion. Man, we got some powerful energy coming out. I'm going to pull some more. Oh, I like it. I like it. These cards are very, very energetic this morning. I'll tell you that. And they popped out those three very quickly and very impressive. Okay, we might need to stop after 3 with the energy cards, though. They seem to have, those are the 3 they want us to see. So we've got bearing fruit, which we talked about. So that means that we're ready to harvest on those manifestations that we planted. Typically, it's about a 6-month season when you see the results of what you implemented. So if you we're going into a new moon in Aquarius, so we're going to start to see what were we manifesting back during the new moon in Leo, because that's the opposing energy of Aquarius. So think about what were you manifesting, what were you working on at that time. And if you're in the live, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And for you guys here, if you can tap that screen, I know it's shameless what TikTok makes you do, but when you tap the screen and I get more likes, it just promotes me on the FYP page, so then we get to see other people. Hi Rebecca, how are you? Rebecca does sound healing. She has a beautiful voice, and so definitely look at her stuff if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Okay, we got waking the lion. This is powerful energy. This is us waking up. Like, this is us waking up inside, and we're seeing that. We're seeing this great awakening that's happening, and it's happening more and more. Everywhere I turn now, and I know it's what you focus on grows. So, of course, because my focus is on that particular stream of consciousness, I'm seeing that in the air, because that's where I'm tuned to. You can think of it like a radio station. So because I've tuned my frequency to the awakening and to, Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, whatever you want to consider it to be, to unity, to love, to peace, to the new earth, and in that form, because I've tuned it to that, then most of the stuff that I see coincides with that particular viewpoint. It's my algorithm. I've dialed my algorithm to be that way. And you have as well. And that's what our frequency is. You can think of your frequency as your algorithm. So what is your algorithm? Well, if you're putting out thoughts of negativity and feelings of negativity, then the frequency or the algorithm that you are putting out there is an algorithm of negativity. So the stuff that you're going to see return to you is going to be in that same frequency. So when you tune your station, or when you're creating your algorithm, you're creating your algorithm through what do you think, what you believe, the thoughts that are running through your head. Are you focused on the future? Are you stuck in the past? What is running around in that space? The next is the feelings. So what are you feeling, and how are those feelings impacting your day? How are they impacting the people around you? Your feelings are the emotions, and they're meant to be in motion, but they still are, whether you are suppressing them or holding on to them. There is that element of the emotions move through the energy field around you. So your emotions are always affecting things going on around you. That's why when you come into a room, you can sense that big energy that somebody's bringing into the space, because they're carrying in that energy of their emotions. And sometimes they come in an angry mood, and that anger is a very pushing, pokey energy, right? Like, you can feel, when you start to feel energy, you can feel the difference in the energy, and then you'll understand what somebody's bringing when they come at you. But this awakening that we're experiencing, I'm seeing it all over the place. I'm even seeing it on more mainstream channels now. And we've got this big disclosure that's going to happen now, whether or not, there's a lot of concepts, or there's a lot of theories on what's going to happen. I like to just be present in this moment, occupy the moment that you're in, and not worry about what someone's projecting is going to happen, because a lot of times what someone's projecting, they're projecting to you so that you project it through your mind, adopt it as your reality, and then you start to tune your algorithm or your frequency dial to that particular space, right? And so that becomes the frequency. And the more people that sit within that same channel, the more that channel becomes the frequency of the earth. It becomes the channel that we live in. So as we turn our dial and change our frequencies and the algorithm of what we're seeing, the more of us that fall into that space, the more that the old structures will just fall away. You could always join me or, follow me, and then you can hang out longer. All right. And then we had the other card that came out with the energies is the Awakening Genius card. And it's interesting because of what I just did with that, knitting that balaclava. That's it. Balaclava, not baklava. Baklava is the dessert. I knew that was wrong. The balaclava, that's what it's called. So that's you're awakening the remembering, like you're remembering all the things that you know, and you know so many things because you've lived so many lives. So all of that experience isn't lost, it's in your records. Your personal records contains all the knowledge that you have, and you can access that when you learn. You heard me say balaclava? Okay, maybe I did, but I was thinking maybe it just made me think of baklava. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Oh, that means tea time. Tea. People on YouTube don't understand that. On TikTok, they can give gifts, and and the one gift that they give, it's to be a member of the team, really, and it's a heart me is what it's called. So when I was doing TikTok lives exclusively, anytime someone would do that, I would go TT. Tarot time, tarot talk, trauma talk. I've had a lot of double T's, tarot and T. So the TT just seemed really fitting. Mm. Ooh, you know the video where they got the where they got Shaq and they got the cat and they're like, "Yee." I think of that every time I drink my hot tea and I get all happy because it's hot and I'm like, "Yee." I think about dancing with the cat instead of Shaq. And put me in place of Shaq and with the cat. And for those of you that don't know, you're just like, oh my goodness, she's interesting. So we're awakening our genius. And this is beautiful. We're connecting to our ancient wisdom. We're connecting to the knowing that we have within ourselves. And this is helping us to move forward, because as we awaken, not just like, you know, skills and talents and knowledge in that capacity, but there's also awakening yourself to the other part of it, which is remembering what we've done in previous incarnations that was really, really beneficial, plus things that we've done that was not. So then we can learn from the past and not and we won't be doomed to repeat it, so to speak. All right, let's see what our Mother Gaia is giving us for our information today. See what she has to add for us with the energy. That one has to come out. Inner call, the rose thread, soul led, the mystic, living courageously. Right? So are you listening to the inner call? Do you sit within yourself? Ooh, the mystic rose as well. A lot of mystic stuff. And look at, we got after the rain. This is beautiful. This is the energy that we're feeling. Like, it literally feels like this out there in the world. Like you're seeing new colors. Pura vida. Buenos dias. This is beautiful. So we've got after the rain, which this is that silver lining, the relief, hope, mercy. It's over. Acceptance, right? This is that, you know, when you smell that, what is it? I can't remember the name of it when you, the smell that's after the rain. Where are my geeky friends? Okay, who's a Gemini? One of my Geminis, gotta know this. Someone that's a Gemini has this kind of detailed information. Okay? Go call your Gemini friend and ask them, what is the smell called after the rain? Not fresh. That's a very Virgo answer. Sherry's like, that's not fair. You know my sign. It's in my mind, but I just can't. It's just, oh my goodness. I also have something in my eye. But I think the problem is that I'm trying to pull the word for the smell after the rain, like what that smell is. Plus I'm also pulling the word of, there's this word like, I'm gonna have to. Are we okay on there? I like, for some reason I'm getting some interference. Yeah, it said that I lost reception for a minute there and then I couldn't reconnect, but apparently I'm here. Hi, Mira. Hi, Mira. Yeah, it's back now. Just had a little bleep. Petrichor. Yeah, I was thinking that word, but then I was also thinking that there's a word, like a comfort word. There's another word that I'm thinking of, but it's not, that's similar, that means something similar to petrichor. But anyway, that's the right word. So that smell that's after the rain, that's in the air, right? That's the kind of environment that we're seeing out there. Like the color is different, the sun is different, the air feels different. And I actually saw a lady, an indigenous woman who, she came out with talking about how the wind is different, but in her understanding, the wind felt different, but not in a good way. And I'm not in that. And I think that's what we're seeing now, is we're seeing that like very distinct two different timelines. So some people are seeing all of this chaos or seeing all it, and that's because that's where they've tuned their algorithm. That's where they've dialed that frequency into. And for the rest of us, we're not seeing that. We're seeing that silver lining. We know it's over. We know we're on our way. We're following our inner calling, and that asks you to live courageously. Like anyone that's following their soul mission, I guarantee you, is taking risks and is a brave, courageous person. Because many of us, when we assigned our soul mission, we didn't assign ourselves to come down here and be an accountant or to come down here and, drive a garbage truck, or, we didn't assign ourselves with missions like that. When we assigned ourselves with missions, it was usually we were going to take a step out of convention. We were going to put ourselves out in the spotlight. We were going to have to overcome some self-image things for sure. And I know a lot of us are hung up on that part. That's where we get stuck in doing it is, there's the bit where we get tied up with imposter syndrome, but then there's the rest of us that get tied up in the being on the stage and being seen and being, seen and heard for who you are, which is interesting because many of us, that's all we wanted and that's all we needed as a child, right? Was to be seen and heard. That's all we've ever asked in all of our partnerships, was to be seen and heard. That's all that we've wanted from our friendships, is to be seen and heard. That's all we wanted our family members to do, was to see us and hear us. And yet we were giving this big stage, let's say, in this situation here. I have a big stage. I can be seen and heard all the time. The problem is that many of us in that mission is something that our family disagrees with. So in order for us to be seen and heard for who we are, we have to step away from tradition. We have to step away from convention. We have to step away from our families. And the ones of us that are lucky enough that our family in blood is also very open and spiritual and in the same space, open-minded, to be able to, allow what that newness that you're bringing to coincide. But for many of us, we find our soul family when we start to do our soul-led mission. And those connections are so deep. They're so profound. And the other card that came out is the Mystic Rose. And this is all about compassion and grace and humility. And, we talk about this in many circles, but definitely it's also highlighted in Truth Wave, is about the concept of, in Truth Wave, it's about the node that you sit on when you, like if you choose a node, and being that throughout the day. And in other spaces, I usually just say, what would love do? Or if you could just go through life and what would love do? And love is always the right answer. And people are like, well, I don't understand that. Well, love isn't what we think it is. It isn't the fairy tale, Disney romance that we've been conditioned to believe is love, right? It's not that, right? Unconditional love can sometimes be very challenging, right? Unconditional love, it has boundaries. Unconditional love has respect. It's unconditional, but that doesn't mean that it's without other stuff surrounding it, right? A father who puts a rule in place to protect their child is doing so from a space of love, even if the child on their side doesn't feel that that was a very loving thing, right? But that's the space that we get into. So Mother Gaia has some good messages for us. Let's see what Father Sky has for messages. Hello, Dark Till Dawn. How are you? What does Father Sky have for messages for us today? And if you want a card, stick around. There will be time for that. We've got Star Gathering, Stars Aligned, Remembering Home and Soul Family. For a lot of us, that's what's going to happen with this disclosure. We're actually going to remember that that is us, that we are them, that we are alike, that we are family. We've got the central sun coming out as well. This is about abundance and success and regeneration. When you think about your central sun as the ego center, it's about your desires. It's about being in alignment with that passion that drives you forward. Now, I like to think of your central sun more as not your ego. I think that's another way that we get disconnected from what and who we are. I think that what I like to say is that the central sun is actually your soul. It's your little soul spark. And when that soul spark sits in your heart chakra, it doesn't sit in your ego. It sits in your heart. And that is where our toroidal field generates from. That is where we connect to one another. So this beautiful space is where I see your central sun as being located. Now I understand, when they're looking at the colors of the chakra system, why they would also align the central sun with your solar plexus. But again, be in the heart and let yourself sit within that space. And we do this in grade 2. We talk about this, that it's important for us to be connecting into our energy, which is what we are, that consciousness, right? We're the energy that runs through all of this. We're not our thoughts, we're not our emotions, we're not our body, because when any of those things cease, we continue. We continue to exist. Our consciousness, our energy, that is the prevailing thing that continues, that's infinite. Connecting into that and just feeling that energy and reminding yourself that that's what you are is so important to do. And especially early on, it's important to do this as much as possible. So all I do is just drop my awareness into my heart space and tap into that energy there. And I know when I'm seated there because I actually feel myself sit in alignment, right? So if I'm sitting forward and I drop myself into that space, it pulls me right into alignment. And it might do the same thing for you. So the other thing that we have coming out is the Lemurian seed codes. And this Lemuria was a previous, same as Atlantis, and they're very, very highly sensitive individuals. They could see with their third eye, I can't remember the distance, but at least 3 miles, right? At least 3 miles they could see. They communicated with dolphins. They were extremely sensitive, very intuitive, very empathic. And so when the Lemurian seed codes comes out, it's just reminding us to embrace that sensitivity, right? Like I was just saying about connecting into your energy every day, feeling into that space, playing with that energy, expand it out, touch your hand on the outside of your chest and feel your energy actually connect to your physical. This is also about embracing your uniqueness. The Lemurian seed codes, there's Lemurian quartz, and the Lemurian quartz would look fairly similar to this, but the difference with the Lemurian quartz and this one is that you actually see little bar coding inside of it. And so they're very special little crystals that you can get. And it's also asking you to live with grace. Okay, so there's a lot coming in from Father Sky as well. All right, let's get to some individual cards with right after we do just some tarot qualifiers. I like to have my tarot qualifiers. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you, love? How are things going for you? All right, let's get some bonus messages from the tarot, which is the collective Nietzsche. The 6 of Cups. Look at that beautiful, beautiful card. So the 6 of Cups is the card that is about nostalgia. This is about thinking about the past, or exploring your memories. And I think that there's we have to be careful that we don't visit all the negative, and again, if you're going into an experience in your past and you're just reliving it without transmuting it, then there's no point in going in there, because all you're doing is re-experiencing that, which is going to generate the energy here and continue that on, recreating it in your present. So if you're looking at the past and you're looking at, oh my God, remember when we went on that vacation? It was just the best of times. Like, oh my God. And you're talking about in terms of that, that's different, because you're bringing those beautiful memories that you had into the moment. And if you're recreating from that space, then you're going to be recreating more beautiful memories to have. But oftentimes we're in our past looking at those things, and we're in the space of just recalling the what we would dub as negative experiences, and not with the purpose of actually going in and saying, okay, why, why does that still affect me? What can I take from that? What did I need to let go of that? How can I accept it? Right? I'm doing well, Elizabeth. Okay, what other cards do we have from... So yeah, I think there's some, just be aware of that. I think, let's be cautious with our emotions and where we're spending them. Oh, we got a card that's upside down, I think. It's backwards. Yes, we do. The Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles, and I was talking about this earlier because the Eight of Pentacles is in the Shadow Seer position. The Eight of Pentacles is about mastery, and it's about putting your own essence on it. Like every single one of us could go, definitely you can be on the list. Every single one of us can go to the same school and learn the same thing, but at the end of going through the education, we're not going to get out and do it the same way. Our mastery of something is going to involve putting our essence in it. And nobody has all of your skills, all of your talents, all of your memories, all of your experiences. Nobody is identical, right? If you were completely identical, I mean, I can't even fathom that. So at the end of the day, sometimes we get tied up in mastery because we're trying to emulate what somebody else is doing. And what we need to realize is that mastery comes from applying your own self, your own essence to it, and being unique in that experience. You want to be bringing something unique, and maybe there's something new that you need to learn and you're hesitating to go and learn it. And we've got the Hierophant. The Hierophant is basically the masculine form of the High Priestess, but it's about convention, and it is about enlightenment. It is about a spiritual awakening. This is asking us to be more ritualed and conventional with it. So, making sure that you're doing your practice, and that's an important part of it. There's structure and flow that needs to exist in all areas, whether that's in your spiritual area or in your life in general. We need to have both structure and flow. The Hierophant is asking us to have structure. The High Priestess asks us to have flow. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got Temperance, and Temperance is always asking us to balance and to be moderate in things. Temperance is the zodiac that represents Sagittarius, whereas the Hierophant represents Taurus. So Taurus and Sagittarius being in the reading. Temperance is really, if we're not careful, there can be the element of oil and water extremes. But Temperance is the alchemist. They blend those things together and blend it in such a beautiful way that it transmutes, but also amalgamates or creates new substances as well. What can you do within your life to create that moderation and blend things together to create more harmony or create something new, even, is what my guides are saying is coming up with that. Okay, so for those of you that want a card, it is time for cards. We get to decide, do we want little cards for everybody, or do we want big cards for a select few? And what that means is I will do larger readings for a select few people, which means that the people will get a much better reading, or I will do little ones. Universal unconditional love. Love to you too, Chief White Buffalo. You guys decide. Do you want a big reading or you want a little reading? Hi, Cosmic Valkyrie, then Louise. How are you, love? Everyone's like, you decide. You decide. I gotta tell you this. Okay, this card fell out when busy as ever. Productive, right? Productive. So see right there, it says you decide. Like literally the card that fell out, you decide, right when she said that, you decide. Big readings. Big readings. Okay, we're going with big readings. We haven't done big readings for a while. So we got to get some names up here for who wants big readings. Big readings. We'll go into some depth. We'll pull a bunch of cards from a bunch of different decks, and we'll see what's up. And my guides are saying Lola. I think Lola asked, right? Did Lola ask for a reading? I think she was the first one to ask. And remember, you got to be helping, though. You got to be giving some energy, right? You got to be giving some energy. So make sure you're tapping the like button or doing what you need to do on that end. Okay, Lola, let's see what the cards are saying for you. Now, I'm not doing... don't worry about starting a list, Denise. I'm going to just do it where after I'm done, I'll see who's here at that time and ask who if they want or who want. I'll pull from then. Yeah. All right. So beautiful. Okay. We're gonna keep going with Lola. I want to get some other cards out. Beautiful. Are you in a relationship now? Did you start a relationship, or have you been in a relationship for a while? Like relationship status. I mean, I could wait until the cards tell me. Hi, Miss M. How are you? Married for 20 years. I'm seeing like some beautiful energy with it. The reason why is like the first card that came out is this beautiful card. I'll show you guys as well. You can see the couple up there. The Rose of Venus. And the Rose of Venus is about the right relationship. It's harmony. It is alignment, flow. And it was followed by the Brother of the Rose, which is the sacred masculine. So beautiful energy. I feel like the relationship maybe went through some challenges at some point, but there's definitely so much beauty in that particular relationship. I see if it's went through a rough spot, it's going to be in a beautiful spot. Or if you guys are experiencing, and it might not be the relationship, it could be just like stressors in life in general that are creating. Yeah. Okay. A lot of water energy coming up with this too. So we've got the whale song, the resonating, right? Ultimately, everything that I'm getting in here, like, you know, there might have been that disagreement, but there's a silver lining. There's some acceptance that needs to happen. I feel like there might have been some overwhelm, right? That's been happening. So maybe he's just like, is he stressed out right now? Because maybe that's where it's coming from, is just, you know, feeling a bit burdened. Burdens coming up. There's a lot of connectivity that's coming up with this. But what I was saying with the water is like these two cards came out from the shaman. So we've got whale song and we've got the spirit of the river. So give me a second because some other stuff is coming in my head. So how can you support him so that he feels safe to unburden himself, right? I don't know what that is. I don't know Jennifer. I don't know who Jennifer is. Yeah, I don't know who Jennifer is, so I don't understand that statement that was on that page. The Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is where we can sometimes we create our own issues. We're maybe looking at the cups that we're not looking at in the right direction. We're giving our focus to maybe the negative, right? So you can kind of get into that spiraling, right? That spiral of consciousness, like when you look at the shell here. So it just becomes that cyclical of almost like a woe is me, or, you know, like, oh my God, this is, or when is it going to happen? Or when is this going to, you know, like whatever with the stress, it's just going around in circles. And instead of looking at, I have all these things to be grateful for, so I should be looking at, you know, the things that are beautiful and going right in my life, as opposed to focusing on, you know, whatever it is that's the challenge right now. And get some more clarity on these cards, please. I think that there's, you know, there's an element of play that needs to come into you, though. The one card is talking, like the spirit of the river is about moving towards adventure, right? It's just that, and I think, you know, enjoying or moving towards the bringing fun back in, bringing joy back in, right? Sometimes it's just, yeah, there's too much focus on the what's not going right. So how can you help him to refocus while refocusing yourself? Like going back to a gratitude practice, I think is a big thing that's coming up there. Maybe connecting with other people, right? Maybe having friends over, right? Like having some like doing some socializing, right? Like that could be a big part that's going to help. Connect with spirit, right? Connect with God, whatever your higher power is, however you relate to that. Connect with God, and allow that, your intuition to guide you, right? Your intuition to let you know what the right direction is to go with things, right? Why my internet's going so weird right now. I don't know why YouTube's just trying to mess with me today. YouTube is just trying to mess with me today. The bottom of the deck is the strength card. So you are going to be giving him the strength, right? By being that support for him, letting him know, reminding him of his strength as well, right? So yeah, that's what I'm getting for you with all these cards. Two of Pentacles, there's balance that needs to happen here as well. Balance is really important. So, you know, he may be all work, no play, and he needs to have a fun day, right? Like as much as that, you know, might seem silly, but sometimes we get so focused on the grind and so focused on the negative stuff that, you know, we need to remember that, like, we came here to have fun and to play. We didn't come here to work and die. We did not come here to work, pay bills, taxes, die. Like, that's not what that wasn't what our purpose was, right? So I think, you know, yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, Lola. Alrighty. I know I have quite a few people that want a reading. Did anyone want a reading on YouTube? I know that could be a risk to take considering the thing. Okay, so we'll see who, just put your name down if you want a reading. I'm going to let my guides choose who's going to be next. Okay. None on YouTube. Okay. Hi, Leo. Leo, let's see what we got for Leo today, Spirit. Can I get a good message for Leo? What does Leo need to hear today, Spirit? All right, we're starting off with quieting the mind, okay, and as well a grand symphony. So quieting the mind, when we allow ourselves the opportunity to still our body and still our mind, then we can connect with our higher self, we can connect with spirit, we can connect with the energy, the ether that's around us. We open ourselves up for inspiration and insight, and it's really, really powerful. I see that for you, maybe right now your mind is like a grand symphony. Maybe it is really loud. It's like a cacophony in there, like a lot of noise, and it's really important for you to silence the noise. The other part that I'm getting, or my guides are saying with the grand symphony, is reminding yourself that, You know, our individuality and our uniqueness is our superpower. We didn't come here to be all the same instrument, right? When if we were to translate humans into instruments, it would be ridiculous if we were all drums. The music would never be wouldn't be that deep if we were all just drums, right? I mean, we could make some decent sounding music, I'm sure, but it wouldn't be the same as when you add all of the other elements into it, right? Although the violin is a beautiful instrument, if all you had was violins, it would lack that depth and that breadth that having a beautiful variety of instruments creates. Right? Same thing with if you only had one style of voice. You want all of those things. So being that unique instrument that you are and bringing that to the world, right? Like tapping into your innate inner self and then what is alignment with you and allowing that whatever is you to shine through, to be brought to the world. What else does Leo need? So there's ancient power, the Temple of the Rose. This is about activation and accessing some of your ancient power. Hello, Kita. How are things in BC for you? Right? So there's some in this quieting of the mind, right? You're going to be receiving these activations and these downloads. There's the reunion is coming out, the wastelands, and the rose thread as well. So the rose thread is about your inner calling. This is about your beautiful, this is about stepping into your power. Like really, you've got a mission. You came here for a mission. Hi, Hazy Fox. Miss you too. You came here for a purpose. And right now, the only card that's really giving me any cause for oomph is this one here, the wastelands. Now the wastelands is about slowing down and tending to your garden. So you may be in that hustle and go and grind and doing all of that stuff. And this is asking you to slow down, right? And we can determine how much energy that we're giving out. We don't have to say yes to everything. We don't have to do everything that everybody asks us to do. We don't have to sign up for everything. And sometimes we think that we're sitting in rest because we're scrolling on our phone, or we think that we're, doing things that are good for us when we're consuming TV, like, oh, I'm relaxing, watching some TV. But that's not true relaxing. That's not truly tending to your garden as it was. The other part is that, as we're, and I'm looking at the bottom of the deck, I happen to put the cards down upside down, which is odd for me. So you get that card as well, which is we are nature. So there's really for you, the getting quiet, sitting in nature, going for walks, and not walks with your headset on. Like leave the headset at home, even if you want, leave the phone at home and just go for a walk and connect with nature. If you live in the city, there's got to be a park somewhere where you can go and interact with a little bit of nature. But otherwise, if you can, get out in nature and really expand and get grounded, right? Reconnect to Mother Earth and all the life and beauty that's around you. So there is this like partnership that's going to be coming in as well. Like it's just really, I'm seeing you getting into alignment with yourself. There's just that inner stuff that needs to happen first, that getting quiet and going within, quieting the mind and connecting with the energy and the spirit within you. Okay, so that's the energy that I'm getting for your reading, Leo. Okay, I missed that comment that you put down before. Hi, Catherine. No. I see this. I see this as being your big awakening, is what I see this as being. I see this as you using that energy to to propel yourself forward into the life that you're meant to have, aligned with the people who really truly see you and understand you and love you, right? If you use this as a catalyst to propel you into your true self and the life that you want, you're going to have a beautiful life. Um, that's what I'm seeing with it. Well, we could talk about why'd she go no contact. Why'd she go no contact? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, you have to ground yourself. Was it justified? Hello, daily reminder. You are loved too. Okay, so then she has things that she needs to work on. If it wasn't, if it's, right? Bottom line, if but anyway, the way that I do it here is I just pull the cards and I read the cards for you with the message that with the message that spirit wants you to get. Oh, you're the one that's jealous. So she stopped. She did no contact because you're jealous, but you don't have any reason. You're like there's no reason for you to be jealous. So why are you jealous? If there's no reason, why are you jealous? What is it about? What is it that's making you jealous? Fear of what? This is powerful, Leo. This is as much as it, but fear of what? Like the cool thing is you're sitting here talking with me, and you don't even know, but I have a school of light, which is all about going through. So fear of abandonment. Are you abandoning you? Are you abandoning your needs? What ends up happening is that so if we are hurt when we're children, right? When we're hurt when we're children, right? We end up oftentimes acquiring attachment disorders. Okay, so because we were not in a safe, attached environment when we were children, we've adapted. So children who were continuously neglected, they end up having avoidant behavior because they're like, well, you're never coming anyway, so I'm just going to do it myself. Like I can't rely on anybody, and that comes from neglect. Anxious attachment comes from the space of being back and forth. So you didn't know. It was an inconsistent parenting between neglect and abuse. And you didn't know whether or not your parent was going to stick around or if they were going to abandon you. So because of that, when they were there, you would cling to them because you didn't know when it was going to be taken away. So then we become adults who cling to things outside of us to equate that we're lovable. Like we get our love from everything outside of us instead of from inside of us. So then when somebody does something that makes that feel threatened in any way, so when your partner I used to because I had disorganized, and disorganized is a combo of avoidant and anxious attachment, and I had received that disorganized because when you have really wildly chaotic upbringing, then you get the disorganized because you don't know whether you're coming or going or whether it's up or down. So you end up in that space. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Chad. So we end up I would cling. So when, a long time ago, if my partner was to go out with his friends, to be fair, I would align myself with people that really were going to irritate my shadow until I realized that I had to face it, and only in facing it would I not have to deal with it anymore, and in that mirror. So I, like, my partner would go out and he wouldn't be he would not talk, he wouldn't touch his phone, and he'd take cash, and like, so he had all these things, and it would be like, okay, but I don't feel comfortable that I can't reach you at all. Well, I don't feel comfortable that you take cash out. Well, I don't feel comfortable that you got to spend the whole night out, that you can't come, like, so I had these valid things, but I also had the anxious attachment, and I knew that, so I was very clingy. I shouldn't say I knew that. I knew that, and in reflection, I found out that I had that, and that's when I got to do the healing. Is in through that. Sorry, I got to do my puzzle, and apparently I didn't fill it in correctly. I had to do it twice. I didn't put the puzzle in the right space. Oh my goodness. So when we're looking outside of ourselves for love, we're always going to be seeking, and we're never going to be full. We're never going to be fulfilled, because you can only be fulfilled through self-fulfillment, right? Because any time that is threatened in any way, we lose our center. We lose that we are lovable. I used to, anytime I was in a relationship, I was like, yep, I'm lovable. I'm in a relationship. It's obvious I'm lovable. See my boyfriend? Proof that I am lovable. And then when I wasn't in a relationship, I didn't have that aspect. So then I was almost feeling like I was unlovable. See, nobody chooses me. Nobody wants to be with me. Why would anyone want to be with me? I got 2 kids, right? Because I was a young mom. So you have to work through that element. And it's not for her, it's for you, right? Whether she comes back or not, it's irrelevant. What's important is you healing whatever it is that is within you that doesn't feel whole unless it's got something from the outside to fill that in. So we're maybe seeking accolades, maybe we're seeking, having that money, or having accomplishments, or having relationship, or whatever, right? We're always looking, if we're looking for that external, we'll never be fulfilled. So I would say that's what I would suggest, not to worry about her at this time, but to worry about you, and pour the love into you that you so desperately want to give everybody else, because it's you that you actually want to give it to. But we hope that if I give enough love to that person right there, and I'm pointing at myself, if I give enough love to that person there, they're going to love me back, and I'm going to feel accepted. I'm going to feel whole. I'm going to feel worthy. But we don't, because we can't feel worthy just because someone else loves us from the outside. We have to love ourselves from the inside to feel that worth. Okay? Does that help, Leo? But this is your reading. This is still your reading. Look at the powerful message that you got from the cards about what's going to happen for you now that you're in that space of really doing the healing work. Allow this to be the opportunity to do that. And know that if that person that you're not with right now, if your girlfriend doesn't come back, know that you're going to align with somebody who's going to be more aligned with a healthy you, because you've done the work. And if it's her, you're going to be more healthy, and so is the relationship because of that. So it's just beautiful. Okay. All right. Who's next for a card? But yeah, definitely think about, if you're in a position to, then think about joining the school. Okay, so I'm here. I do tarot, and I do tarot and oracle card readings. I'm an intuitive. I speak light language. I'm an energy healer. I do a lot of things, just like you do a lot of things. But the one thing that I do with the most passion and love is I have my school of light. And my school of light, I took all of the stuff that I was doing in the different ways that I was doing it, and I decided that it would be best as an education and as a school. So grade 1 is the journey from shadow to light. And this is where we're transmuting all of those shadows. We're working on our traumas. We're healing. We're getting our resiliency toolkit built up. and we're, you know, we're learning to regulate our emotions and to accept and love ourselves. In grade 2, we go from me to we, right? This is where we start to look at unity consciousness. This is how we start to look at what I do for me affects you, what, you know, I can affect the collective with my energy. We start to look beyond the veil and start to open our eyes to what, you know, we've been lied to about. And we do it from a space of where we're not investing in it. We are aware of it, but we don't absorb it. And then we focus on, we're learning to focus our energy on the things that we want to see. In grade 3, it's the journey to illumination. And this is where we start to use, we start to step into our purpose. We start to use our energy in very profound ways. So those are the, hi, yay, yay. Yay! Congratulations. The timing could have been off a little bit. See, the thing with predictions is that the stream is picking the one stream, and sometimes it can be, you know, other stuff. 38 years now for what, sweetheart? What's your 38 years? What's your 38 years? Okay, we got a few people for some cards. We're going to go with, oh, and the other thing is, these are just whatever Spirit wants you to know. I'm not taking questions and doing answers. So I'm going to give Chief Buffalo, my guides were calling on Chief Buffalo, so that's where we're going to go. And I actually want to start with the Shaman deck. All right. What does Chief Buffalo need to hear at this time, Spirit? Can I give a good message for Chief White Buffalo? All right, so some faith is coming through for you, as well as gestation spirit, gestation period. That's who I am. All right, so we're checking. I'm going to just pull some cards first, and then we'll look at what the overall message is. Nice. Do you feel like you're doing what you came here to do, White Buffalo? Do you feel like you're aligned with your purpose and stuff? Hello, Noza. Grand Rising, Wonder Woman. Love to you. Okay, let's check in on some other cards here. And what's it 38 years for, sweetheart? Clee, what's the 38 years? All right, White Buffalo. Yeah, so we're doing bigger readings, Nona, and I'll let you know, like, I'll see what my spirits guide me after this one. I have a lot of things under my belt. I couldn't put them all down on the thing. That'd be crazy. But all right, that's all. They did not want the energy cards. I'm surprised. I am surprised. Okay, so we've got the Fates, Skywriting, and we've got with the Fates. So Skywriting, Winter's Dream, and Falling Angel are the 3 cards that you received from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Okay. Aw, love to you, Catherine. I love your energy too. And also the Fallen Angel. The Falling Angel is about spiritual narcolepsy. And it's kind of like forgetting, there's like this not really remembering who you are. What I'm seeing here is you're in this period now where you need to be just really focusing on it's like the planning stage. It's the introspective. There's reflection that needs to happen because you're not far from where you're meant to be. It's almost like if you spent just a little bit more time doing spiritual practices, or, you know, maybe even doing something slightly different. I'm just channeling what my guides are saying to me, that by accessing like these, because there's definitely the message of forgetting who you are, right? It's like an angel falling in the sky. The only reason why the angel's falling is because they've forgotten they have wings, and they can just open these wings and they can choose to drift, or they can choose to ascend, or they can choose to descend in a safe manner. They don't need to be falling, right? But that's the message of that falling angel card. So it's like this, you know, when we come in, we go through the veil and we don't remember everything. So this is what the period that you're in right now is meant for you to be exploring, to get, you're so close, like you said, you're so close, but you're going to be coming into alignment, and there's no wrong path. Every path that you choose is right. There's also with the, hi Tina, love to you. Hi Ben. Make sure you subscribe on TikTok if you're not, or sorry, on YouTube if you're not already subscribed. So we've got the Akashic Stargate from the Gateway of Light. And this is about being aligned with your purpose, that there's no wrong choices that you can make. It's just right now you're in this little period of really just tweaking things is kind of what I'm getting from it. There is a solar plexus, solar light upgrade. So the solar plexus chakra is going to be getting an upgrade. The definitely energy moving there. The I'm hearing like alarm going off outside by a car, which this is distracting. The Schumann resonance, the solar flares, all of that information that's coming up is doing powerful upgrades on us. Lots of us have received like massive upgrades recently, especially to the third eye and the crown. A lot of us are getting upgrades to our throat chakra, especially with, you know, Aquarius season. Definitely, it's all about speaking our truth and the veil being lifted. But this is a specific one to your solar plexus, and this is going to align you more with your passion and your purpose, and getting you in that space. Okay, so you'll feel that alignment more, because I think it's going to open you up to some capabilities that you've had but you've forgotten. Okay. Absolutely. Oh, that was a good shuffle. All right, can I get some clarification on these cards, Spirit? The White Buffalo. Oh, we got the Four of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. So the Four of Cups is the very stable energy. So right now you might be in a very stable space energetically. Make sure that when you're in this stable space, though, that you don't allow boredom to create problems for you. Because sometimes what we end up doing is because our nervous system wants to keep feeling the same way as it always has. We want all those same chemicals running through our body. So we want the adrenaline, we want the cortisol, we want the dopamine. That's why many of us are scrolling on our phones endlessly, because we are just addicted to dopamine. So this Four of Cups is, you know, making sure that you remember to look at what the things you have to be grateful for. The other card that's coming out is the Ten of Pentacles. This is about material and spiritual abundance. This is about fulfillment. So that is coming in for you. Just at this point in time, make sure that you're really focusing on what you have to be grateful for, because when you're focused on all the stuff that's going right in your life, even if things aren't where you want them to be, if you're like, every time, it doesn't matter, you make $5, thank you, universe. You make $100, thank you, universe. No matter what you're getting, thank you, universe. The Page of Wands. Yep, just aligning with your passion. There's a hesitancy, I think. I think there's a little bit of a hesitancy to really put yourself all the way out there. And you just need to do it. You just need to do it. Okay. Yes, that's powerful work. Right? Powerful work. Okay, let's see who we're going to get for the next reading. I know I got a bunch of people that want some cards here. Make sure that you're hitting the like on the live as well. And And if anyone wants on TikTok or on YouTube, let me know. Okay. Hi, Riza. Hi, guys. Oh, I'm gonna have tea while we're waiting, because I'm betting it ain't as hot as I like it. Nope, it is not as hot as I like it. Hello, my love. Hello, my bestie boo. How are you, sweetheart? All right, Catherine. Catherine it is. All right, what does Catherine need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Catherine? Oh, hey, come on, mother. We're not giving her all the cards from the deck. All righty. The first card that came out was the grandmothers, and the grandmothers is all about your ancestry. It's all about your roots. Oh, wow, you were up early today, my love. You've got a lot of yes coming in. I'm going to tell you that. You've got a lot of yes coming in from the cards, and I'll explain that. So the grandmothers is coming in asking you to remember your roots, to remember your lineage, maybe do some, like you can create an altar for your ancestors. You can connect to your ancestors in a spiritual way, but it's also about gaining perspective. And trust that the way that things weave together, it's divinely aligned, right? We can't make sense of it until we're done. When you'd be making the quilts back in the old day, right? Or even this, right? When I just decided I could make a balaclava with, knitting it this morning, when I decided I could do this, that is just tapping in and trusting. It's just trusting. You're just knitting one after the other, and you just trust at the end that it's going to be okay. That's going to work. It's going to look like it's supposed to look, that it's going to work out. But you don't really know until you get done and you try it on, and then you're like, wow, that actually worked, right? So you just have to trust the process is what's going on here. Now you've got the open card, and the open card is a yes card. It is yes, it's trusting life, it's expanding. We expand through the shadows, through the work that we do, right? When the shadow contains all the light and the power, and it condenses it, right? Even when we're in anger, and we're in fear, and we're in, those types of emotions that we would typically classify as negative, although no emotion is negative, it's energy and motion. They're merely messengers indicating what's going on. They're never bad. The only reason why we determine them to be bad is because we associate the emotion with the reaction of the emotion. So when people are flipping tables because they're angry, we say anger is the problem. But usually it's the person hasn't learned to regulate their emotions, and they're being reactionary, and it's not just the anger that's coming out. But when we work through those things, it's going through those shadows. It's the same thing when you're lifting weights. It's having that opposing force against you that is creating that growth of the muscle. The same thing happens for us. So I'm now at the point now where I'm like, yes, that was a trigger. I get to work on that one, right? I sit and have like those kinds of conversations all the time. Last night my brain was going off on it. I was sitting here just knitting, and the whole time that I'm knitting, my mind's just off on its little road trips. And, some of the road trips, it was going, and I'm like, wow, that's some old outdated thinking that you're having there. Why are you thinking like that? That's just, and I would process through it. So that's how you grow, though. Once you go into the shadows and you work through it, you reclaim your light and the power from there, and it's so expansive. When we're in those states of emotions, like I said, that we call negative, our DNA is actually twisting and replicating, and but it's doing so in a very tight way. When we are in the frequency of like love and peace and joy and authenticity and gratitude, our DNA is expansive, and it's replicating in a very expansive way. So that's what happens when we work through our traumas, or when we get to that, to the space on the other side, right? And so this is just telling you to say yes. The other card that came out is the Sun card, and the Sun card is traditionally called the Yes card. So this is about joy and life and enjoyment and, you know, abundance and vitality. Like when you think about the sun and the energy that's from the Sun card is always associated with Leo. So it could be some Leo energy coming into your chart, but I think that, or sorry, some Leo energy that's coming into your reading. But I'm just more looking at it as just a beautiful, another yes for you, another say yes to life card for you, right? Say yes to life, right? We also have the Sacred Waters card coming out, and it's talking about nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care, all of those topics, right? So how can you lean into self-care in a more in a healthier way, right? Like I said, there's a part of, we can be sitting there going, I'm doing self-care because I'm just sitting here resting and I'm scrolling on my phone or I'm watching TV, and you know, but that's not what this is talking about. This is, you know, really nourishing yourself from such a beautiful space. Thank you, Al. Right, nourishing yourself from a very, very beautiful space. Let's see what other energies are coming out from here. The thing is if we don't rest, then we put our health in jeopardy. So there is the need for that. So look at what you're fueling your body with, right? Whatever you're consuming. What are you consuming with your mind? What are you consuming with your skin? What are you consuming with your mouth? Well, that's beautiful. So I see, like, and there might be something new coming in. There is the uncharted sea, so it is a space of newness. We've got the great and full, which I always recommend that everybody be, is grateful, because the more that you experience gratitude, the more things you will have to experience gratitude for. But we've also got close encounters. So there could be this new kind of a new relationship or a new person coming in, and that might be taking you to a new space. Yeah, let's see, can I get some clarification on these cards, Spirit, for Catherine? Okay, so we've got the Tower in the shadow position, the tower in the inverted position. Just beautiful card. I'll show you it upright. This beautiful card. So in the shadow, this is about narrowly avoiding disaster. This is about like something that didn't happen or something that's happened recently. It could have been worse, but it's a redirection is what the card is. So there's this redirection that's happened. The Nine of Pentacles is there as well. The Nine of Pentacles with this beautiful little cat. And look at, there was a Leo in the chat. There was a Leo in the chat. That's cool. It actually like Leo. Well, so it's interesting. Synchronicities, right? Synchronicities. So the Nine of Pentacles is about spiritual satisfaction. Right, it's a peaceful, beautiful card. I love the cat playing with the ball of yarn on that deck. Oh, we've also got the Queen of Cups. Look at that beautiful card. Look, it could be you and the babes. You and your little mushroom. It's so cute. The Queen of Cups is emotional and intuitive. She is balanced. She is, and I think you know. I think you know, and that's, you know. Most times we do know. Oh, no, that's too many. Too many falling there. Thank you. Thank you. All right, can I get any more confirmation for Catherine? 10 of Cups. Look at that little family. And this is the card that is one big happy family. Okay? But there is a strong message to be looking at what you're grateful for. So keep your eye on what you're grateful for and what you want to see grow. Okay, that's a huge, huge message here. My guides are being very, very loud about that, that it's very important that you look at everything that happens through the lens of gratitude. Through the lens of gratitude. All right. I love you guys. I wasn't even paying any attention to this, to the time. Um, I have to go to school. I have class, guys. I have to go to school. I'm the teacher. I can't be late. So that on that note, you can always go to my website. I do have readings there. I have a half-hour reading. I have an hour reading. I'm back on Thursday as well. Thursday is Transformation Thursday, so we tend to do a little bit more with energy. But I can always do a like shorter readings then. So instead of giving everybody really big readings like I did today, we'll just do shorter readings, and we'll do energy stuff on Thursday instead. Okay, I love you guys so much. If you're looking for any information, just go to my website. If you have any questions about my website, definitely sign up for a free call. And if you guys have children, definitely look at purchasing these books which teach children beautiful, beautiful stuff like emotional regulation. This teaches them this beautiful calm spaces technique. It gives them handy dandy pages they can pull out that are in colors that maybe are associated with feelings. It's just beautiful. Aw, I love you, Craig. I'm so glad that you stopped by. This one teaches us that when children feel unwanted and unloved, they turn into little monsters, and that by accepting them and loving them, we can turn them back into the little boys and girls that they are. And it follows me and my grandson on an adventure. And this one teaches littler kids that no spitting, no biting, no hitting, and no kicking. So just beautiful lessons with that. And this is adventures with me and my younger grandson. So if you have children and are looking to teach them some great little things, then by all means, they're found on Amazon worldwide. Anyway, I love you guys. I gotta go. I'm gonna be late for class, and then, that's just not setting a good example, and I need to lead by example. That's just my motto. I love you guys so very much. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you back here on Thursday, unless I see you in class, and then I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye, guys. Bye. Love you. Love you.